Hello YouTube. Today we're going to have a look at how to set up a virtual machine. Now to do this, you need to go onto the internet in your favorite browser. I like Chrome today, so I'm going to pick Chrome. Go to google.com, loaded by Chrome very nicely, and then type in either Virtualbox, like that, now owned by Oracle, very nice, or Oracle VMware. These two are very, very popular. Oracle VMware supports Linux and other operating systems slightly better than Virtualbox does, but I prefer Virtualbox because it's just awesome. So, let's go to Virtualbox. Okay, in Virtualbox, right, once loaded, to load a new operating system, click on New, then this window will load, click Next, type a name for it. Okay, so it could be, for example, Windows, let's say 7x64, and notice automatically when you type this type of string in as a name, the operating system already loads up the operating system and version. Okay, now click on Next. Then the RAM allocation can be whatever you wish. So I've got 12 gigs in this computer, so I can say 8. Then you can create a new hard disk, and that will be the default place for it in my system. Sorry, that won't be the default place. That's the current hard disk in the system that I have that I can use. Click on Next, and then click your desired specification of hard drive. VHD is quite popular, especially if you want to tie it in with Windows. I'd definitely go with that. As parallels, you can have VirtualBox, Virtual Machine Disk. I don't believe that the new format, especially with the new Hyper-V, supports these formats. It supports a very different format. We'll have a look at that in a later tutorial. We'll see what's going to happen in Windows Server 2 2012 and possibly Windows 8 as well. This is the new 2012 edition, so looking forward to that. Okay, click Next, and dynamically allocated, click Next again. Then for the hard drive, select the space which is good for you. If you want to change the location in VirtualBox, click on this little arrow here. Then you can save probably to the desktop if you want. So let's see, D drive, and then just click on this little part here. I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to call it Win7. Maybe not. Call it Win7.1. Then in here, just save the machine. Okay, and the location has been changed. If we just move the slider, you can see we have up from 4 meg all the way up to 2 terabyte. I don't need that much memory, so I'm just going to say about 25 gig, but it was fine. Just put the GB there. There we go. Then just click Create, and then click Create again. Now, to optimize the VirtualBox, sorry, the virtual machine even, click on Settings, and then in here, what I like to do is I like to go to Advanced and check the actual settings. So this is fine for me, that's fine, and that's fine. System. Here you have the chipset, which can be useful for things such as Mac OS X. Base memory we have already allocated. Boot order can be selected as network if you're doing over your network. Processors can have up to 16 processors. Just increase the processors to 7. I like working with 7 processors. I know I'm weird. Make sure that these two are enabled if you have VT or AMD V, if you're using an Intel or AMD processor. Not supported by ARM, which is interesting, but oh well. Okay. That needs to be enabled for multiprocessing. This has to be enabled for multiprocessing as well. Okay. Now video memory, self-explanatory really. 3D acceleration would be nice. 256 megs of RAM. Right, storage is the big one. Right, that's where you load your CD in the IDE controller. You can have a SATA one if you want as well, but IDE is the default. To do that, you just click on here, add the controller, and then you can add a SAS controller, floppy controller, SCSI controller, SATA or IDE. Okay, so you just click on this one, and then that's the image for the Windows 2012. I'm not going to load an image for now because you'll see how that works in the next video. There we go. Got it out in the end. Okay, sound. If you want sound, there's Intel HD, Sound Blaster, ICH AC97. That's quite a popular audio controller on some old boards. This one is as well, but really, it's really Realtek. I think on some of the higher end boards, motherboards have an audio controller for Realtek, but that's not in the emulator because this is an emulator. Network, easy. You have these different options here: NAT, bridged, internal network, host only network, host only adapter, and generic driver. If you want to connect to your internal infrastructure, so for example, if you want to connect, say for example, this laptop that I'm working on just now, to my tower, which I'm just on a remote desktop just now, then a bridged adapter would be the most appropriate. And you can connect to things like your Hamachi interface if you have Hamachi installed, and you can probably VPN into that, or select an individual Ethernet controller on your NIC. That's your network interface card. Or what I like to do, because both of mine are bridged, these two controllers, I select the Mac Bridge Mini port and I'm off. In the advanced settings, what you have is your promiscuous mode of the network adapter policy. This can be either allow or deny, so you can allow all VMs or allow just everything. I personally like to have that on allow all, and say that the cable is connected so you can emulate the cable. That's your MAC address. I'm not too bothered about showing you that in this video because I'm not using this machine. I'm going to delete it straight off. This is just here for demonstration purposes. I'm not going to launch this machine either. I'll show you that I'll show you how to launch the machine in a later video. Serial ports if you're using comms. This is especially useful for using like older machines. For example, Unix machines like terminal servers, because they were very, very expensive. Serial ports, which were used in older machines, because computers back in the day were very, very expensive, so they had things like Unix terminals, which could be used. I can show you a link from one of the YouTubers that's on YouTube, who does a lot of retro stuff, and he had an emulator like this, where he connected the COM port in and managed to boot up the actual PC. I can't remember his name, so I'll put it on later on. So yeah, you can enable them if you want. You can have a port number, goes up to COM4. Port mode, disconnected raw files if you want them. Storage, we've already covered. And USB, here we go, USB. So USB controllers, you have to download the extension pack for this. Okay, and I think in newer versions of Virtualbox it goes and does it directly. However, I'll post a link in the description to show you where you can get it from. Okay, so for this, just click on the on a new filter. That's absolute rubbish. You don't click on that. You click on this little button here, and you can connect whichever USB device there is. So on here I've got a portable hard drive, camera, USB receiver, and a wireless mouse. The one that I believe works on here is my verbatim portable drive. And you can click OK if you want at this stage, or see the shared folders. Shared folders are basically to share between the real machine as a Virtualbox server and the host machine. Now, you don't really, when having a bridge connection, need this shared folder. It's not entirely needed. You can just share folders directly through the network, as it will be seen by your host machine. I'll show you more on that in a later tutorial, but this is just how to use Virtualbox and calibrate your machines, so that way they can run efficiently. Okay, thank you for joining me on this video. I hope this has helped you out, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you. So, one more thing that I want, PS, just one more thing before we go. One more thing that I want to show you is if you, just get this right click, right click, you will have settings, clone, remove, start, show log, show an explorer, and all this, okay? So if you want to alter the settings on the fly, just click, left click, and there we go. Clone the machine, no problem. Okay? And you can even reinitialize the MAC address of all the network cards if you want, and that will clone the machine. That's like if you have a VDI type infrastructure, so that's virtual desktop infrastructure, and you have clients and you want them to connect onto the same sort of machine, possibly over the internet. I'm not 100% sure how you would connect over the internet without some kind of manager, but it can be done. So yeah. All right, I'm going to delete this machine. What do I have a question? I have a question. Which I can't see. Okay, so I hope to see you again soon, and that's the end of this video. Oh, here we go. There we go. Okay, so when I clicked on that, I got this question saying that, do I want to delete all the files? What do I want to do? So in this case, I'm going to delete all the files because I don't want anything left in the system for that. Okay, thank you, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you for watching this video. This has been Multi-Tech for YouTube. Now, what do I get out of here? Hello.